So this is a video in which the quartering is going to be...
Please give me your fucking money.
Begging for money, for sure, by making coffee ads, but also racist as fuck. Like, he's just going to be super racist. I guess the grift has just led him to be the guy that says pretty racist shit so he can try to get some views. We'll see if it works. Chick-fil-A bans, quote, youths, and will require an adult to be allowed in restaurant. Parents rage.
What's up, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. There appears to be like a national trend of...
Thanks for fixing the camera, buddy.
Fatigue. In particular, with anybody
I'm
who...
pregnant.
I'm happy for you, Popetos. The fatigue thing, he keeps putting the term black fatigue in everything. I am tired of this racist shit, man. We need to stomp the racism. It's just so annoying. I don't know if you can see it. Chick-fil-A has black fatigue. It's always like demonic savage. Always when there's a black person going to court or something, we can talk about that. Woke woman humiliated. He has fucking borderline Comic Sans too. Like the state of it. The absolute state of it.
has to deal with the general public, and I don't blame them. A while back, maybe 2-3 weeks ago,
I have white fatigue. I'm fucking fatigued by white people, for real. Like this fucking guy, tired ass Jeremy. When I was a kid, okay? When I was a kid, you hear the racist stuff, okay? The weird shit. We've never had a quality identity outside of negative stuff we do, white folks. Wouldn't it be cool to have a quality thing? Someone put a video up, and I thought that was very true of my experience, and probably of most of yours as well, how white families drift apart once the grandparents die, because there's not like this group keeping them together. Like they just fucking... You don't really talk to each other again? That happens. What's that about? That's so interesting. So, I mean, I think that speaks to the kind of culture that we breed in each other. And it's a very atomized sort of like, you're on your fucking own, pay your own rent shit. So, like, I'm not surprised when we live in the bosom of America where white culture thrives, that's like what we're doing. Like American white culture specifically, it seems to be like, there's just this, it's not really a loving environment. And I wish I could say, like, there's loving people in it for sure. Like, my mom is one that stands out amongst the people, thankfully. Like, I got one of them that was very nice. I mean, she has her problems, but she's nothing if not loving. I'm sure you guys can think of those people too, but it's like little pockets of your family, and it's like an isolated thing. Like, we just don't have, and I'm not saying every culture is good or anything, but what they do seem to have, probably because it's in America, you live within whiteness, so you congregate and look for, they have community in ways we don't. And for some reason, people like Jeremy feel like, well, if you don't look like me, we can't have community. I can't even have it with my own fucking kids. I'm not going to have it with you. And so that's where we're at. And it fucking sucks, man, because now what the environment is like, people don't know if you're a safe fucking white person. And then how you just going to be going like, yeah, I'm a safe white guy. That means you're not a safe person, probably. That's weird, right? So now it's like you just kind of, we navigate the world and you try to make sure that everyone knows that you're not one of the fucking Republicans. Most people are nice. I don't think people usually clock me for a Republican. But anyway, what I'm saying, Jeremy, mostly is that guys like you are ruining it for the rest of us, whiteys. Okay? You're a bad representative.
McDonald's started banning youths from their store after 5 p.m. after
why is he saying
their
it like
staff
that?
Had endured wild behavior and just terrible stuff. Now youths have lost their white whale. That's right. Chick-fil-A has now banned youths, unaccompanied youths. And of course the internet's calling it, you have a problem with a certain race, blah, 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 blah. Look, I don't know the exact demographics of this city, but I do know that the city where I live, Chick-fil-A allows everybody in all the time and doesn't have any problems.
Is he saying because his city's real white? Let's deconstruct how being offended works for a second, from my experience, okay? What the right-winger thinks is offensive is the racist thing. Like, oh, I said a racist thing. The triggered lib, or whatever. The thing that pisses me off is that you think you're triggering, and then you don't have the confidence to say it with your chest, and so now you're also, like, kind of being dishonest. And, like, that's what really is annoying. There's something to be said for, like, an honest, racist dumbass. And you're just like, yeah, I guess this guy just fucking sucks. And, you know, there it is. But, like, this guy is clearly, always has been, a grifter. I feel like the racism and the sexism and stuff is stuff that he gets closest to actually feeling true to himself because he is a piece of shit ultimately. But at the same time, like, he's just trying to get clicks. It's just sensationalism. It's just like, I don't know, sort of the Trump-esque kind of shit, sort of the runoff from that environment. It's just trash.
Chick-fil-A sparks fury with strict new policy for, quote, teen customers.
I'm going to do everyone a favor and speed this breathy-ass guy up. I'm going to do 1.5 because I'm pretty sure we can handle that. And I'm going to turn him up a little bit. Give this guy some amphetamines and see if we can't get some more breath in his chest and some more pep in his step. Get things going a little bit, huh?
Just so you know, the words teen, youth, these are used interchangeably by mainstream media to really describe unruly inner city kids.
Inner city kids? Yeah, it sounds like I think he's just saying black guys. I think he's saying black people, inner city kids. So, teen chaperone policy. This is not targeted towards just black people necessarily. I wouldn't be surprised if corporations were doing, especially in Ohio, Chick-fil-A, was doing it in a black community and targeting them racistly. But, like, the teen chaperone policy, there has been a problem in general with, like, Zoomers and just, like, teenagers right now. They'll like, be shitty to performers, and just, like, people outside. They'll just be shitty to them. This has been happening more and more. Boomers are no better necessarily, but they're at least a little more, like, lazy. Like, kids got energy, and they've been, like, you know, people have been, like, really disrespectful to a lot of things. I'm not surprised that your corporate Chick-fil-A is getting some disrespect. I don't know what they've been doing, but I guess let's let Jeremy breathily tell us what's going on. I'm sure it won't be racist as fuck.
That's in general. If you see a headline and it's like, gang of youths ride their motorcycles or ride their dirt bikes down the highway.
Yeah, I mean, like, the younger end of the Zoomers, and then your what are we calling the next ones? Alphas again? Are we just going back to alpha, or they got something else going on? The gang. See this shit at concerts anytime. It's all ages. It's definitely all ages for sure. But there's been a resurgence of the youths. I think there's this, and I don't blame them. Kind of. I mean, teenagers already don't give a fuck, and so they're going to be doing this shit anyway. We were fucking making problems, don't get me wrong. There's this, like, black pillification of things because things bad right now. Like, it feels like you don't gotta follow rules anyway. You know what I mean? People are, like, pretty much at the point where it's like, well, if the fucking president doesn't have to follow a rule, then who the fuck has to? So they're not gonna. It just is true. You're doing it to yourself. When you run the fucking nation with crime, you're going to have more of it in like social settings, or at least more, not even necessarily crime, like disruption. You're going to have things go bad. And plus, like, you know, on top of all of it, you're going to have people that are disenfranchised by the system through capitalism, and they're going to be like, well, I mean, fuck this place. I don't care. Treat it like shit, just like you treat everything else like shit. You know what I mean?
You generally know these are inner city kids. The Ohio Chick-fil-A has sparked outrage after a controversial rule regarding teen customers just before the start of the school year. The location of the popular chicken chain is in Kettering, Ohio. Posted a statement. Now I'm going to look at, I don't know, Ohio. It could be out in the suburbs. It could be, you know, let's see. The number one, so Kettering, Ohio demographics, okay? The majority of the residents are white, with a smaller percentage for black or African Americans of 6.07%.
My city is not like that. 85% white is crazy. Kind of blew up in your fucking face, didn't it? That's hilarious. Knocked a hole in that fucking argument, yeah. But he's going to say, well, as you can see, you know, they're probably still, you know, inner city kids in Kettering, Ohio, with a population of 57,000. My city's bigger, and I am a minority there's fewer white folks than non-white. We have black, Hispanic, Asian. This is so tiring. Dude, this is just this shit. It's over and over. It's just racism.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm wrong.
Now, I think
Now I think that I'm pretty racist, so I'm just gonna keep thinking what I was thinking of before. But obviously there's some white folks making problems.
I think unruly youths. When I was young, you'd go hang out at McDonald's. You might get loud. You weren't throwing fries at the people that work there. But it's time.
What? Time for some McDonald's stories. I worked at McDonald's as a teenager. Like it was my first like real job that wasn't. I did babysit also because I am a trustworthy fella, and people were like, that guy could watch my kids, and I did, and none of them died once. And then so I worked at McDonald's, like kind of like into my college years. I quit a little bit and I came back, but anyway, I worked there for a long time, manager and everything. Can I speak with the manager? That's me. Got to do that like 4 times, pretty sick. But I saw kids do all sorts of shit. I was sometimes the kids doing shit. We one time went into McDonald's and we all ordered. And I'm not joking. Double cheese whackers with jack sauce, sir. Totally straight face. Weren't allowed to laugh. We were kind of laughing anyway. And then when they finally gave us what we wanted, which was double cheeseburgers with mac sauce, obviously, because they're just like cheap Big Macs for $1, dude. You can do it, and you just get charged for the sauce, bro. And so we ate those. And then we stole all the trays. We took the wet floor sign. We took the cones. And we ran away, and then some minimum wage kid chased us down the fucking sidewalk, and we left him in the dust. And so, like, we were all white as fuck, okay? All of us Caucasian. We stole all of that. And I'm not joking, when I had a Pontiac Sunfire that I got rid of when the head gasket blew in fucking 2009 or something like that, probably, maybe 2008. And we stole those fucking trays like probably 6 years before that. Probably 6, maybe 5 years. They were still in my fucking trunk when I got rid of that fucking car. We kept those fucking things. So yeah, I was sick. We did all sorts of crazy shit. I saw a boomer come in once. Her kids were coming in to the store drinking Slurpees, and then like just kind of being loud, and they weren't buying anything, and they were like disrupting. And so we're like, hey man, like one of the managers went over and was like, hey man, you can't be doing that. Do you guys want to buy anything? Like, you're kind of bothering this table, like whatever. You guys can go hang outside. We got a table in the back or whatever if you want. And they were like, okay, cool, whatever. I get it. And then they walked out. And so they got kicked out, but not like very soft. Like it was just more of like an agreement that they could go fuck around outside and not be inside. Their mom came over, dude. She was pissed. She was so pissed. I'll never forget this because I'm working in the grill area. So I got my gloves on and I'm just like working my shit. And then I start hearing like, fuck you. And I peer around the side. All work stops. Everybody in the whole store. And, McDonald's, they're pretty small. So I just like peer around. Front counters right in front of me. And I see my buddy, fellow manager. Her name is Rachel. She remembers the story well, I'm sure. The lady said, fuck you. And so I peered around and I could see her. She was like in this big long t-shirt. She was just like carrying stuff from the gas station across the street, like Midwestern as fuck, frumpy mom mad. She was like, you can't kick my fucking kids out onto the streets of this small town where we all know each other. They're safe and fine. It was sunny outside. It wasn't shitty or anything. And then, yeah, she had this fucking, this is how long ago it was. All the drinks were $1. So she had a large drink and it was $1. And she was like, I'm glad I bought this drink because I'm going to call the number on it and get you fired. And, they had a complaint line. And she said, fuck you. And then Rachel was like, fuck me, fuck you. Fuck you and your dumb fucking kids coming in here making noise. That lady did not like hearing that shit. So she took this half full Coke and threw it, not joking, threw it at Rachel's face. Psh! She dodges this shit, but it like kind of like spills still, and it goes over, and she climbs over the fucking countertop and launches herself at this lady, at which point me and several of the other people in there were like, whoa, and then we walked around and like tried to break it up, and eventually that lady got kicked out. But holy shit. So anyway, all those people were white. I have a million other stories. I literally can't think of one time when it wasn't a white person that gave me a hard time, usually a white boomer or a white child. What the fuck? I actually can't I'm sure it's happened that it's been a non-white person that's given me a hard time, but pretty much all of them, I mean I live in white neighborhoods, so until now, yeah. Rachel's my hero. Yeah, she did not like that. She didn't get fired, by the way. No one cared. She worked there for a few more years. Let's keep talking about whatever the fuck Jeremy's talking about. I'm way more interesting. McDonald's is way more interesting than this guy by a long shot.
Times are different, I guess. With school starting, we want to make sure that everyone's aware of our teen chaperone policy. We are grateful for your support. I want to make sure Chick-fil-A Kettering is a safe and enjoyable place. According to the notice, customers who are 17 or younger must be accompanied by somebody over 21 to dine in at the restaurant. Also, you can still go and have, you can go through the drive-thru, hang out in the parking lot if that's what you want, or you can go through the drive-thru, go to a park, okay? According to the notice, customers, unaccompanied minors may be asked to leave. The message reads, the post triggered an uproar from Chick-fil-A fans who found this policy unnecessary and unfair to well-behaved minors. Well, as again,
it's interesting he's taking the ban the kids from Chick-fil-A. I don't care. I don't care. Fuck Chick-fil-A. Fuck the fucking company. I like their food. Fuck them. Don't care. Buy food from Chick-fil-A if you want. Disrupt their shit if they're being shitty to you. But I think in general, like, be a good community member when you're around other people. That's okay. I don't know the context of any of these problems. You've never had Chick-fil-A? It's decent. I would rather have, like, other stuff, but, you know, well, my kid is good. Yeah, no, they're fucking not, dude. No one's kids are good by the merit of them being your kids. They all have their own shitifications. We all are affected, and we all have to learn and grow. I think, frankly, a little teenage hijinks is normal at a restaurant. That's like where it happens a lot. It's where they congregate. We don't have many third spaces, so they eat together. So, like, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It just depends on what they're doing. I don't know. I think you don't have to ban all children from the Chick-fil-A. That seems funny.
One bad apple spoils the bunch. I don't have any reason to believe. I know the demographic of people who are acting the fool at this
bunch of kids hanging outside of Chick-fil-A. Hey, man. Hey, bro, can you get us some chicken sandwiches? They won't let us in. This is like when the movies started banning kids. Yeah.
I do know the demographic of those that are acting the fool at other fast food restaurants.
Demographic at other restaurants. Of course. That's right. Anytime we show videos of white people doing it, you just disregard it. I've genuinely had so many more problems with white people acting the fool. That's right.
There's nothing inherent. It's not like if it said, hey, this is downtown Detroit, I might be able to factor a better guess. I guess the comments will tell me what kind of city this is. Pretty sad that the good kids are getting punished, one woman commented. Well, that's Democrat society now, by the way. 99% of people in general follow the law. But, if I go to San Francisco, I'm the idiot if I don't leave all my car doors open and my trunk open so that junkies don't break my window and steal from me. That's my responsibility as a law-abiding citizen. So now,
do you go to San Francisco? What? Why are you... You're talking about Kettering, Ohio, and now you're bitching about San Francisco? It's like being in London and being like, those goddamn Moroccans. Those goddamn Moroccans! They're fucking my shit up! I believe London and Morocco are closer than San Francisco and Kettering, frankly. Like, geographically, I'm pretty confident that's true. So, like, well, shut up!
Now it is everyone else's law-abiding, every other law-abiding citizen and Chick-fil-A customer that it's their fault. They must deal with this. It says, how about instead of a chaperone policy, they just say they have the right to remove anybody from their property that's being disruptive? Wrong. Nah. Because the second you pick the wrong person, they're going to film it and they're going to say that you're racist. I see it's better to just have a blanket policy. The internet ruined that.
You're calling it racism? I still don't understand why he's assuming, I mean, it's racism. Yeah, it's the answer is he's racist. He's assuming that in a black minority town, the problem is black people in the Chick-fil-A. What's the problem that is happening? Are they giving any examples of the kinds of issues they're facing?
In response to their concern, Kettering Chick-fil-A commented that they privately messaged her. Meanwhile,
Detroit is one of the nicer cities I've ever been to outside the homeless being abandoned. Detroit's pretty nice in the places that it's nice. The places that it abandoned, it has abandoned them fully. It abandons residential corridors mostly on the edges near the factories that went down. But yeah, I agree. It's back in a big way, I think. It's got a lot of amenities. There are homeless people on the streets, but not like all over, and that's a failure of capitalism, but that's going to happen in any city.
Many agreed with her sentiment, with one mother chiming in to say her son and friends were looking forward to eating there after school. Why don't you feed your own kids? Why are kids going to Chick-fil-A after school? Anyway, I absolutely agree if someone's being disrupted, they should be asked.
What? That's a silly thing. I don't even... That's making me defend some random fucking Republican lady in the comment. What do you mean he doesn't have kids, obviously. Sometimes they want to go do other stuff than eat at your house. Don't you remember being a kid? I was excited if I got to stay in town and go to like fucking Jimmy John's or something with the boys. That was a good time, man. Eat some bread because I didn't have any other money. 50 cents for a loaf.
Believe. Another user wrote that the store is going to, quote, miss out on a lot of money before and after games. She also called the move to ban unaccompanied minors from eating at the restaurant a big mistake. I actually don't think it is. I don't think it is because I think I know who's getting banned. And I think I know why. And I look at restaurants around me. So I live out in the country, but I live near a city called Menominee Falls. Okay? 10 years ago, Menominee Falls was very small town.
Menominee Falls.
Now Menominee Falls has a bunch of people from Milwaukee in it, causing crime and fights and theft and, breaking into cars. These are all people that don't live in Menominee Falls, but they work there or they come there to commit their crimes. There's
People from Milwaukee. It's just so stupid, dude.
a handful of restaurants that have surrendered to these people, and I don't go there anymore. And
I don't go there because I might run into a hoodlum. I'm very scared of the hoodlums. I'm telling you, I live in a majority black city. I don't experience what he's talking about. If anything, the people that are disruptive are white people. So many alpha males scared of the city. I know, right? We go and do stuff all the time. Like, all the time we are out and about. Sarah is a little white kid. Like, look at her. She's a little white dork. Cute one. She's never been bullied, ever. In fact, everyone's just nice to her when she goes out. And they're mean to me. They're like, hey, ma'am, can we see if you're of age to drink? Give me your card. And then they go, not you, Gramps. You got a cute thing on. Are you her chaperone?
these restaurants are doomed. I remember famously there's an Applebee's by us.
I feel safer in the cities because there's more queer people. Fucking true.
They used to have like cheap Long Island iced teas or something like that. They had to stop it because people were coming up from Milwaukee and getting hammered and causing problems in the restaurant. Now,
not Milwaukee.
That Applebee's is basically hanging on by a thread. Are there good people that live in the city? Yes. Are there bad people, of all colors and whatever? Yes. But I know basically what group of people are going into fast food restaurants and causing trouble.
White folks. I agree, Jeremy. I'm glad that he's talking about the white menace. Thank you. That's what I'm taking from this. Because he said it's mostly white people in here. I'm glad someone's finally talking about it. Goddamn white people running around throwing shit. Applebee's sucks so hard. I think the best part about Applebee's is their apps. Like the worst thing about them is everything else, probably. I don't really like the rest of their food usually. The salads are okay.
I absolutely agree if someone's being disrupted that they should be asked to leave. Again, the problem is they can't do that because if they're not white, they're going to get canceled. And some poor 17-year-old who works at
That's just not true, man. You're not going to get canceled if you reasonably kick somebody out for being a piece of shit. You get canceled when you're like saying racist shit. Black people get kicked out of places all the time, just like white folks, just like anybody else. There's someone unruly at the bar. Frank, you gotta go home, man. You're being an asshole. Come on, Jackie. It's a white lady in my head. You gotta go. You're being a piece of shit. She's like, no. You know how many of these people throw fits at like supermarkets and like J.C. Penney's? These white people. You see them. They don't like to live in the cities. They live out. They live out in their little cloisters, out in the dirt.
But yeah, I mean,
it's uncivilized, if you ask me.
Yeah, he coerced me into sucking him off.
Are we really taking the word of a basement piss vandal who is committing crimes? Yes.
Is going to be doxxed and have their life. People try to attempt to ruin their life. While the policy's enforcement did not go over well with many people, especially the parents of quote well-behaved teens, others sided with the restaurant. A lot of places are moving in this direction because your kids are unruly and disrespectful. One woman wrote. The teachers keep telling you. The coaches keep telling you. The librarians keep telling you. Law enforcement keeps telling you.
In the 86% white town, they're telling you that the kids, who are mostly white, are doing a bad job of behaving. And do you know why? They are seeing the structure of power, and they are doing acts of civil disobedience, quite basedly, if you ask me. They are just not respectful of your bogus, like, authoritarian world that you've put them in. They don't like it. Chick-fil-A is a great place to misbehave because it's not a place they want you to. I like this. I'm growing more and more on the side of the children. I'm about to play Arcade Fire and light some torches and go full fucking Lord of the Flies.
Now I know for a fact that we're dealing with the parents of good little boys who ever didn't do nothing wrong. That's what this is. Mm-hmm. Now here you have a mom. I'll hear the comments. Tina Day. Another comment said she understood the policy because of her own experience of dealing with disrespectful teens. When I worked at a restaurant in downtown Centerville, teens would come in every day, every Friday, and destroy our business by the hundreds.
By the hundreds? Hundreds of teens? In this mostly white town? Where did they get them all? He is now so racist, he sees the word teens and thinks black. But really, it's about white teens. And if there's a group of whites, what do you call them? That's right, a chalk.
Some of the kids were fine, but a bunch were out of line, were wild, and ruined it for everyone. Everyone acts like this is the only company doing it when it's not, one man added, rattling off local shopping plazas that have similar policies. Chick-fil-A spokesperson explained the policy to Fox Business, saying that every location has its own unique set of rules. Chick-fil-A, a restaurant that is locally owned and operated, the restaurant has seen a
sleeve of crackers. I kind of like sleeve.
Poly for location with mirrors that of the shopping center. Now, I just wonder why that shopping center had to have the same policy.
Yeah, in the mostly white town.
Here's some actual people were supporting it. Nobody there makes enough to constantly remove, quote, disruptive teenagers who lack accountability or fear of consequences. A lot of places are moving in this direction because your kids are unruly and disrespectful. Everyone keeps telling you, yet you think everyone thinks their own teenagers are so well behaved, they have zero clue how they really act when they get into large groups with their friends and start acting up to entertain each other.
Yeah, so he's talking about white kids this whole time. Thank you for shining a light on the white problem. We do.
Social media clout at everyone else's expense. Everyone acts like this is the only company doing it. There's a comment, as you can imagine, this is not a pleasant experience. You know, the comments, but I thought this was a loving Christian-run business.
So they're against Chick-fil-A.
It's like them again. I mean, I don't know. People are very clearly saying that this is a instance of black fatigue, but I don't know. The article mentioned the restaurant in a specific location having instituted this policy as opposed to the company as whole. You know, I don't know. You might lose a few customers, but families are the ones that you want to keep, by the way.
There was like 2 racists in there, and they had bogus names, so I think they were bots. But he's like swept up in this.
Is it because of them again? Yes, teenagers.
Los Angeles, United States, 5 hours ago.
Doing teenage things. These problem youths turn into problem adults. They'll never contribute anything. I don't know. You know,
I don't know. I'm just asking questions. I agree, dude. White kids are a problem. If you're a white kid, the odds are that you're being a piece of shit is pretty high. Sad to say.
Again, 13% reference of that. I don't know. They didn't say that. I don't live there, so I obviously can't, I can't say specifically what's going on. But I can assume that...
I can't say specifically what's going on in the mostly white town.
This is unruly teenagers. And by the way, unruly teenagers of any color should be banned from restaurants.
Any color. Yeah. Any of them. Yeah. Even though I put black fatigue on the thumbnail. It's white fatigue. Can we put fatigued white in the thumbnail? Can we get one fatigued white under a picture of him looking tired as fuck and aged? Because he is one fatigued white.
You know, if you want to keep it open, the same reason they have security guards at the mall.
You can't hear it because I sped it up to 1.5, but he is winded as fuck and slow.
You know, they have security guards at the mall so that, good people don't,
They've had security guards at the mall forever.
Don't ruin it for everyone. That's what it is here.
Good people?
And are there white people getting banned by that? Yes, there are. Do I know why in Milwaukee, why the Institute...
I think I suffer from whiteness.
We all do, man.
I think it was because of white kids going in there caused problems. No, it was never that. Source, I shop there. All right. Now, I've never had any problem with kids...
I shop there. So it couldn't have been the white kids when I wasn't there. Couldn't have been them.
Acting wild. I know that the theater has in that, but most kids, teenagers being loud or whatever, big deal. That's not really... I don't think that's a bannable offense. If there's theft or you're making other customers feel uncomfortable, this, that, and the other thing, okay, fine. Again, McDonald's has banned minors from eating there after 5 p.m. without their parents after staff were subjected to verbal and physical altercations. A McDonald's restaurant this is in Liverpool, but again, this is everywhere. This is everywhere.
Yeah, it's in China too.
You can look at McDonald's bans. Here's a Virginia McDonald's bans customers under the age of 21 after a series of, quote, student violence.
Yeah, in Franconia, Virginia, in this obviously white ass town.
Is it a bunch? Is it a bunch of suburban kids getting out of control?
Yes.
I don't think so.
What are you talking about? It literally is. It literally is. Yes, the suburban kids get up to it. They act out at the. Just be racist, really, right?
We'll have to see. I think that it's probably smart to have some policies to keep your good paying customers on board, but we'll have to see if Chick-fil-A gets canceled. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like.
What? It's not like he's just NPC dialogue tree Jeremy shit. Will they get canceled? Find out. Hey, like and subscribe right now if you think Jeremy sucks. I was banned from a Wendy's. It's not difficult. What'd you do, Iron Gullet? Did you tell them that their fries get cold too quickly, but they're good when they're fresh?